Hi guys, welcome to another session of modeling interiors in Revit. And in today's session, we'll be learning how to model a table in Revit. So the name of this table is a smile table, and I think it works really well for any low table settings that you might have in your interiors. And let's get ready. So what you want to do is import an image just so you can see what that looks like. I normally make my coffee tables about 550, but you can play around with it. 550 is what I'm going to be working with. And what we're really going to try and focus on doing on this, which would be the more difficult part, I would say, is to try and get the shape of the legs going. And what I normally use is the sweep tool, just so that I can edit the profile as I go along. But to get started, what I normally do is that I draw a little rectangle for myself. It just makes things a little easier and confines the space of where the curve is going to start and end. So just keep referencing your image, and then you'll sort of gauge where the curve ends and how it starts and how it forms. So I find that this rectangle is really helpful, and then I type in SL, or you can click the slice tool, and I'm going to slice the edges of this rectangle by 25 and 25, and I'm going to remove that, and then I'm going to use the arc tool to create an arc, and that's going to create my curve at the top. And that curve, I'll show you later in the video, is going to continue, and that is going to be the arc of the table leg. And then what I do is I look for the midpoint of the whole line, and then I draw that line and I mirror it to the end, because it's the same kind of curve. And so to do that, you either type in MM for mirror, or you can find it in your modify tab. Anyway, as you can see, it is mirrored top and bottom. We have the profile that we want, and this is the path. So the path is usually where you would be drawing the confines of the shape. And then your profile, I prefer to draw in my 3D view. So I have a little reference that I've made for us, and that's the 30 mils, and that could be our board, our table board on top. So in 3D view, it's a little tricky to maneuver, especially when you lower your scale. So I like to pick the tool, I like to pick the line that I'll be modeling in and maneuver around that to make sure that it is easily visible in all the views that I'll be modeling in. So we're going to go with a rectangle for this. Click the green tick to move on to the next stage, and this is editing your profile. So the profile is the shape that we want this path to take. Because remember, we've drawn our path, we want it to curve at the top and curve at the bottom. And now we're telling Revit that this is the shape that you must create. And if you look at the reference image, you will see that it is a rectangular or a square kind of shape that is curved at the top and the bottom. So we're just going to go with the rectangle for now, about 40 by 10, and we'll see what that looks like. Probably plywood that has been manipulated to curve at those edges. Let's see what that looks like. Great, and remember, you can always come back and edit the shape of your profile as needed. So this is not the end anyway. Just get a sense of how the shape is progressing, because it is important to keep referencing your reference image. Have it open on the desktop next to you or in your modeling space, whatever works for you. Just keep referencing the model image. And as you can see, we have some sort of shape. You'd have to see how that looks like in relation to your reference image, and it looks like we're pretty close. We'll just have to work a bit longer on, I would say, the length or the depth of it. But this is okay, we can edit this immediately. Copy your reference image onto your reference level, just so you can keep referencing that in all your views. I'd like to draw a guideline for a tabletop, and this you can draw in the middle of your reference planes, just so you know where you're going to pick up the line to draw your tabletop when you extrude it. Great, now we're editing our table leg again. Like I said, feel more than welcome to edit it as much as you need to get the correct shape, correct angles, and we're just going to make it a bit longer because it looks longer in the reference image, and this is why it's important. to keep the reference image in your view so you can keep referencing back to it and editing if needed. Great, that looks like a much better shape. Let's see what else it looks like in floor plan. Okay, so now we can use our reference lines to mirror all the sides of the leg. So I like to click on the shape and press MV, and that stands for move. So I like to pick it up from the middle, and when you see that the middle creates a sort of a triangle kind of pink shape, then you know you're at the midpoint of that object or that line. And for the tops, you would just need to rotate it and click on it and say MV again and make it pick up on the midpoint. Remember, the triangle should show up at this point. And yeah, and then at that point, click on it and click on your reference plane and click MM for mirror. This should be the same prompts as in AutoCAD. And yeah, it looks like we are close. So now we're going to just click on the extrusion tool and we are going to extrude a tabletop. Remember, we have created a reference plane for the tabletop, so this should be easy enough for us to pick up. And we know that the depth of that we want to be 30 mils. Great, then we go to our front view and we know we have a reference plane of 550 at the top. This is where our tabletop would start and it would be 30 mils off of that 550. And we are going to get that just now. Draw that reference plane in. It really depends. You can draw all your reference planes as you go along in the project or as you start. It might be easier when you're starting off with this and drawing your reference planes, just so you know the extent of your drawing and how far you need to attach and lock your drawings to. Great. You can either drag and then lock it, or you can pick on your reference plane and then align tool to the bottom of the counter, and then that should be fine. And then delete your grid since we don't need that reference line. And it looks like we have something, you guys. Really excited to have you guys watch the rest of the videos and see what else we can do in Revit. And then after that, please do not forget to save, like, subscribe, send this to everyone that you know, and don't forget to comment below if you would like this table available for your projects. Thank you guys so much. So excited for the next one. See you soon.